in the brain which has been conditioned to act according to past memories, or thought has projected a concept, an ideal, a theory according to which you are acting. The brain is conditioned that way. Can the brain be free of that? Otherwise you will never find out what action now is. You understand? Somebody can explain, but it won't be your own depth of your own understanding. Clear? I'll explain it. I'll go into it. This will verbal explanation, naturally. It won't be something you yourself have discovered and therefore truth, and therefore live according to it. We have to inquire into what is perception, seeing, perceiving. One perceives the fact, actually all time is now. That's a fact. Irrevocable fact. No other clever man comes along and says, sorry, that's not like that. If what you have discovered is truth, then you can meet any challenge. You won't be bowled over. Écoutez, madame, you can ask this question, your question, write it down, we'll answer it, not now. I hope you don't mind. What is action, which is totally independent of the past and the future? Right? What is action which is not dependent on the past or the future? Right? Is there an action which is so complete now, not fragmented? You understand? That's my action. Human action is based on the past or the future, therefore it's fragmented. Right? It's broken up. So we're asking, is there an action which is totally free of fragmentation? I don't know if you see the beauty of the question itself. Therefore the speaker says there is such an action. And that action is to see. The seeing is the doing. There is no interval of time between the seeing, perceiving, understanding, and the doing. The understanding, perceiving, the seeing is action itself. Say, for instance, I'm working so hard, come on. One perceives very clearly, objectively, without any bias, that all organized religions throughout the world, all of them, are based on superstition, faith, belief, tradition. Obviously, with their various forms of rituals, dresses, fancy dresses, and so on, so on, so on. You see, that is put together by thought, whether the ancient thought or present thought is put together by thought, right? Therefore, as thought being limited, it must be limited. Because thought, I'll briefly explain to you, thought is the outcome of memory. Memory is part of knowledge. Knowledge is outcome of experience, right? There is no complete knowledge. In the scientific world, they're adding knowledge up, right? Bit by bit by bit by bit. 1,000 people or 100,000 people are adding to it day after day, day after day, right? Therefore, the more is limited, right? So experience is limited. Experience of a man who says, I've reached God, is limited. Right? So, knowledge, whether now or in the future, is limited. Therefore, thought is limited. Right? So, anything that thought has put together, both externally or inwardly, is limited. Right? So, action based on thought is limited. Get it? Hear it for the first time, for God's sake. All action is, if it is based on thought, will always be limited. Therefore, that which is limited must invariably create conflict. If I'm thinking about myself all day long, as most people do, it's a very small affair, right? I must practice, I must meditate, I must not do this, I must not do that. You follow? I must seek, I must have no conflict, I must meditate. It's all very self-centered activity. And therefore it's very limited. Right? So thought is limited. Is there an action which is not based on thought? Thought is the past. All the memories, all the tradition, all that. And thought also has projected the future. The ideal, the communist theories is still limited. So, if we are acting according to the past or to the future, it is still limited, right? Therefore, breeding enormous conflict and confusion, obviously. So, is there an action which is not based on the past or the future, because all time is now? Is there an action which is so complete now? You understand? Which means seeing something clearly is to act instantly. I see very clearly, the speaker sees very clearly, to belong to any organization, especially spiritual organizations, is utterly detrimental, limited. Therefore, don't belong to anything. Yes, sir. Because to belong to something gives us security. We won't feel safe. The Guru knows I don't. Therefore, I'll follow him. It's a form of deception, insecurity. Right? So, one perceives that and instant action. The whole thing, you are free of the whole so-called spiritual leadership. That requires, you understand, it's not strength, mere perception of seeing what is.